Here we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry you can only see the top of my head right now. Coffee counts. We'll count it for today. I love it. Thanks for joining, Tealish. Okay, I think we are all set up. Hopefully y'all can hear me. If you could just give me a quick yes or no in chat, making sure that my mic sounds good, that would be most appreciated, my loves. Great. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start from a seated position today, Sukhasana. So go ahead and take an easy seat, crisscross applesauce right here. So from here, I can't actually see chat, so hopefully everything is good, everything is going well, and I will catch up with you afterwards. This is KB. He'll be joining us today. Hopefully your pets are joining you today as well. If you have pets, if not, they're pets in your heart, right? Okay, so we are starting from Sukhasana, easy seat. Let's go ahead and lengthen our spine, roll our shoulders back, and get ready for 20 minutes of lunchtime yoga. Closing those eyes, let's take a big deep breath in through the nose all the way to the top. Holding it, and exhale to the mouth. Another one just like that. Big deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. One last time. Big deep breath into the nose. And with the out breath, let go of any meetings, emails, or other commitments you have today. Slowly blinking open those eyes. We're coming to this time together on the yoga mat. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends. I hope that this time is beneficial and serves you. We're going to stretch out our hips, that's our hips. These are our shoulders. We're going to stretch out our shoulders as well. We're going to do a couple neck rolls just to get everything moving and flowing and feeling right and setting you up for the rest of your day today. So let's go ahead and transition into tabletop position. So with that position, it's very easy. We're just going to put our wrists directly under our shoulders, and our knees directly under our hips for a nice tabletop here. So from here, our neutral position, we want to have a nice flat back, and then we're going to do a couple cat-cow stretches. So you may have seen these before, but if not, no worries. So first, we're going to come into cow pose, which we're going to do by dropping our belly and looking up towards the ceiling, inhaling in a nice spine stretch here. Exhaling, we're rolling our back into cat. So nice rolled spine here. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat, rounding that spine, nose towards knees. Nice and slow here, moving with the breath. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. One more set here at your own speed and adding in any extra movement that you want to. Sometimes I like to just roll my hips around. Stretch out my front paws here. And then next exhale, let's go ahead and flip those feet and pop up into downward facing dog. So a downward dog, I want your heels towards the mat. If you are here, that is 100% okay. I just want you to kind of energetically move those heels towards the mat. And one day you'll have a straight leg, and no worries, my friends. And then from there, we want that booty up in the sky, nice and high. I can fly twice as high. Belly sucked in so that snack area is pulled in tight towards the spine. Shoulders are away from ears, and we're pushing away from the mat with our the heels of our palms. Now, this position is painful for you. If it hurts the wrist, go ahead and position your hand like you're opening a pickle jar, and that should take a little bit of pressure off of the wrist here. So from here, we're going to lift up that right leg straight out, just like this, and then bring it all the way through as best we can. setting down our left knee, flipping that left foot, and coming up for Sanchalasana. And all that is basically this pose that you see right here. And we're going to inhale both hands up over the top of our head, making sure our right knee doesn't come over our right ankle there. So if you want to scooch that foot out, you certainly can. So big stretch up towards the ceiling here. You've got ropes tied to your wrists. They're stretching you towards the ceiling. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. Exhaling, go ahead and plant those palms back down. Send that right leg back. And we're just going to switch positions. Nice and easy today. So bring that left foot up, nice and slow, for the opposite side. Inhaling both hands up, just like we did on the other side. Big stretch here. Maybe a tiny back bend, the tiniest of back bends. Good. Exhaling, bring those palms back down. Send that right leg back, so we're back in tabletop. Flip those toes, press up to downward dog, just like we were before. And then from here, we're just going to take little baby steps and walk ourselves towards the front of the mat here for forward fold. Now, your forward fold might look a little bit different from mine, and that's totally okay. So if you're here and this is your forward fold, 100% okay, my friends. Just, we're going to meet in the forward fold that is best for you today. So let's make this a little bit active. We're either going to wrap our palms around our calves in the back, or we're going to take our two peace fingers and wrap them around our two big toes. Then we're just going to pull down so we really feel that stretch along the back of the booty and through the back of the hamstrings here. Just want to stretch out those hips, my friends. It gives it a good little shoulder stretch too, in my opinion. All right, very good. Go ahead and release. Bend those legs generously. We don't need any dizzies or falling today. And then we're just going to slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra into Tadasana, mountain pose. So I'm just going to switch positions here so you can see me a little bit better. You don't need to switch positions yourself. Okay, so a good mountain pose. Our feet are flat on the ground. Our kneecaps are kind of engaged, right? Like our legs are engaged. We've got big, strong legs because we're big, strong mountains. Our shoulders are rolled down away from our ears. Our chest is shining forward, and our hands are down by our hips. Our chin is a tiny bit lifted. So this is a big, strong mountain. From here, we're going to inhale both hands up, nice and tall, the tiniest of back bends. So I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see me. Just a tiny back bend, just the smallest one here. And then we're just going to dive through center, nice and slow, all the way down. No dizzies, do it nice and slow. Bending those knees a tiny bit this time. We're going to come up halfway. And then I want a real flat back here. So you're balancing a T-set on the back. Your belly is pulled in towards the spine. Nice tight bellies here. It really helps our balance. And then exhaling, we're rolling back down all the way. Bend those knees just like we did before. And we're rolling all the way back up. So we're just finding a little bit of movement in the spine here, finishing up our warm-up for the day. Now, I said this is beginner-friendly road yoga, and it totally is, but we're going to try a balancing pose today, my friends. Please do not close out. Please just bear with me. I'm going to give you a couple options here. So we're rolling back up. We're coming back into our Tadasana, just like we were before, our mountain pose. And now we're going to come into tree pose. So I've got a few options for you here. So we're going to shift our weight to the right side, first of all. So just go ahead and shift your weight. No need to bend your knees or anything, or lift your leg up or anything like that first. I just want your weight onto the right side. So tree pose is balancing on one foot. So you can have your other foot just like this on the ankle, and that totally works. Hands at the hips. This is absolutely tree pose. Next step up is bringing your other foot, your left foot, to the right calf, and the hips, or hands can be on hips, or they can be in prayer mudra, Anjali mudra here. All right. Step 3, if you're like, Kristen, I totally got this. I can get into tree pose. No worries, my friend. So keep that snack area nice and tight, belly pulled in towards spine. That'll help with your balance. Nice tight booty as well. Strong standing leg. And then go ahead and bring that left foot up to the thigh. So wherever you are today, my friends, whether that's ankle, calf, or thigh, join me in tree pose. So we are going to do just kind of a medium level pose here with our hands at the chest. Oops, and if you fall out like I did, no worries. Just put yourself right back in here. So we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, letting it all go. Shifting our weight to the other side and doing the same thing on this side. So let's make sure our entire weight is shifted to our left foot before we bring up our right foot. If I don't shift my weight first, if I'm just like, yeah, I got this, I'm a wobbly tree. I'm everywhere, right? So let's make sure we're shifting our weight to the left side first. And once we've got a nice strong leg there, strong booty, strong core, is when I can bring my other leg up, whether that's here, here, or here. Now, I want you to avoid putting your foot on your knee. Over time, it can kind of bend and torque the knee a little bit in kind of some unicky or in some icky ways. Whoopsie. That's what happens when you don't go on a tree very well. Okay. So putting your weight on the other side, bringing your hands to Anjali Paramudra. And again, we're here for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Exhaling, letting everything go. You have beautiful trees today. I love the forest energy. Inhaling, both hands up. And then we're just going to dive through center. I'm going to switch sides so you can see me a little bit better. So we're on the side of our mat here. And then we're bending our legs, planting our palms on the mat, stepping each of our legs back. Excuse me, kitty. Okay, I'll just go around you. And we're stepping back into downward dog. All right? So from here, we're sending our knees down, nice and slow. Everything is nice and slow in yoga. And then sitting back on our booty. Now, I totally forgot to grab my phone, so I'm just going to stand up to check the phone. First, check the phone. Check the time really quick. See where we are. Wonderful. Okay. We've got a few minutes left. Okay. So go ahead and meet me in this nice, easy seat here. We're going to stretch out these tight hips. Now, I know from sitting all the time working on my computer, I've got really tight hips, and it really affects my lower back too. So we're going to stretch out everything in that area, starting with our inner groin, inner thigh. So go ahead and sit back on your mat a little bit, and then bring your legs out so that the soles of your feet are touching. Now, right here, depending on how tight your hips are, this might be the absolute best you can manage today, and that is 100% fine. It's all about, with yoga, finding what works for you and challenging your body. So if this is where you're at today, right on. If you'd like a little bit more stretch, go ahead and clasp those fingers over those toes. Keep a nice straight back. So the way that I think about doing this is kind of a little mini back bend. So I've got a baby back bend here. And then I'm just gonna fold forward at the hips, like hinge. Like I'm using my hips as a hinge and my upper body is kind of like a door, right? So I'm kind of maintaining a nice flatness as a door. And what that'll do is that'll really stretch out that inner thigh area into the groin, which we hold just so much emotion, so much stress there. And so if you are doing a hip opener, whether in this yoga class or in another yoga class, and you feel kind of like anxious or you feel kind of icky inside, that is 100% normal. We spend so much energy just pushing stress and trauma and frustration into our hips. So when we stretch it out, we let it out. And so naturally, we can kind of feel those things. And they need to be let out. So I'll let them out, my friends. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and round down now. If you're a little bit more flexible, you can certainly round down. So wherever you're at today, I want you to go ahead and find your edge. Your edge is the point where you're stretching the muscles, but it doesn't hurt. I never want anything to hurt in yoga. Nothing should ever be painful, only uncomfortable, right? Yoga should only be a little bit uncomfortable. So find that place of a little bit of being uncomfortable, a little bit of uncomfortable discomfort. That's the word I was looking for. You don't look very uncomfortable there, KB. You look quite comfortable. I'm glad you're joining me. Okay, we are coming a little bit deeper, so finding the edge here. We're only here for one more breath. Make it a good one. Good. Exhaling, we're coming up nice and slow. You might want to plant your palms, support yourself coming back up a little bit. And then we are going to, before we're going to roll onto our back here in just a moment, but before we do that, I want to stretch out our neck. So come back into easy seat. Find those sit bones. And we're just going to do a couple of neck rolls together. So sending our neck to one side, rolling forward. And maybe rolling the other way. Just really checking in with this moment in time for yourself. This is your time. This is your practice. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. Very good. Okay, I always love a good shoulder roll. Okay, like I said, we're going to switch to our back here. So I'm going to avoid sitting on my cat. I'm going to stretch up towards the front of the mat here. So go ahead and lay back down on your back here, knees up, and we're going to do reclined pigeon. So from here, I want you to take your left leg and place your ankle over your right knee. Step one. Step two is to take your left hand, thread the needle in between your legs. Right hand goes on the outside of the right leg, and you're going to clasp those hands behind your thigh here on the right side. So for lots of folks, this right here is a pretty intense stretch. If you've got hips that are a little bit more open, go ahead and bring that knee a little bit closer to that nose. And then just stop at the point where it's like, well, I cannot go anymore. This is super intense. Now, if you're like, Kristen, this is way too easy. I need a little bit more spice. Well, let's make it more spicy. Go ahead and take that left elbow and press down just slightly on that left leg. And that will give you a slightly more intense stretch, opening up that left hip a little bit more. We're breathing into any areas that feel tight or uncomfortable. So I like to imagine that there is a pocket available, just an empty pocket for supportive breath in any area of my body. So in this area, it's kind of like my lower hip butt area. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to breathe breath all the way down into that pocket. Just kind of giving myself support in the form of oxygen intentionally. Very good. Okay, exhaling, let's go ahead and release. Send that right foot back down to the ground, left foot back down to the ground as well. And then we're going to switch sides. So right foot up over the left knee. Thread the needle, left hand on the outside, clasp those hands behind, and then go ahead and pull that left knee towards the nose. Now, one side of your body might be a little bit different from the other, and that's totally fine. That's totally normal. We typically use one side of the body. We have a one dominant side, so one side might be tighter, and that's fine. For me, it's this side for me. This right side, this right hip is way tighter than my left hip. So I'm being a little bit more tender, but definitely do what works for you, my friends. Look, does anyone else have cats out there? My whole yoga routine is like built around this cat sleeping at the bottom of my mat. You can't even see my face right now. Inhaling, let's go ahead and bring that knee a tiny bit closer to the nose, just maybe a centimeter, just so we can really feel that stretch. And the work we want to do here is really just thinking about, where am I clenching? Am I clenching my buttocks? Am I clenching my thigh muscles? Am I clenching my abdomen? And if I am, seeing if we can consciously relax those muscles. And typically that allows me to come a little bit deeper into the pose. Wonderful. On your next exhale, go ahead and release everything. Sending those legs out long, avoiding any cats that might be on the mat here. Legs out long, we're laying down, letting our body sink into the mat. Letting our skin, our bones, our muscles, and our tendons be completely supported by the ground. Consciously relax our ankles, our calves, our thighs, buttocks, abdomen, chest and shoulders. Relaxing the arms and hands, the neck, the face, letting the jaw fall open. Relaxing the forehead and upper head. And here, my friends, I just want you to check in with your breath. Just take this moment to just be. You work so hard, and I see you with your hobbies and your interests and just trying to make everything work in the world right now. And just keep your head above water. I see you. So take this moment just for yourself. Let yourself be supported. And let yourself be still. You are awesome. You are whole and you are holy. Thank you for taking the time and energy with me today. I hope that this practice served you. You can stay in corpse pose, Shavasana, for as long as you like. But that is our 20-ish minutes for today. So hopefully this class was wonderful for you. You can catch me next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you felt like this class served you, go ahead and scroll down and leave me a donation. I've got my PayPal and Venmo there. So even just a couple bucks is very, very much appreciated. So I hope you have an absolute wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next week. Namaste. Bye, my friends. See you later.